A while back, I posted about healthy carbs. After somebody asked, like, what are healthy carbs? So this is something I thought needs an explanation. Just because it's a very controversial subject. There is a section of people, which is like most of the people think carbs are super healthy, and there's this other section who thinks like anything with carbs is like terrible. So this requires an explanation. So are carbs healthy or not? So what is the purpose of carbs for your body, right? So carbs provide energy. That's its purpose. Like proteins have a lot of functions, fats have a lot of functions, but carbs sole purpose provide energy. So that is why even without carbs you can do well. You can do a carnivore diet and you can be pretty okay. That's because carbs are considered a non-essential nutrient. Non-essential meaning you don't eat it, your body can be okay. There are mechanisms through which it can make glucose. It doesn't need to convert carbs to glucose. There are other mechanisms, gluconeogenesis. So 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 this is a very popular school of thought that carbs are non-essential, and I agree with their where they're coming from. That is completely fine, because a lot of the people are unhealthy. A lot of people are suffering from metabolic conditions, diabetes, fatty liver, and all. So yes, cutting down on carbs is like a huge improvement. You show definite improvement. We have done this with clients, with ourselves, and a lot of people. So that is so when you see hope, when you see improvement there, it's natural to believe that those guys are enemies. Carbs are bad. So my question is, somebody could argue that you don't need two eyes, you just need one eye because with just one eye you can see. So is my eye non-essential? Is my kidney non-essential? Is clothes non-essential? Is a home essential or non-essential? Technically all of these things are. Is a car essential? Technically all of these things are non-essential. You will be able to live without any of this, but doesn't make it not useful. There is a use for this, right? So the key is, it's about the person's health. Is he metabolically healthy? If a diabetic hearing this says, oh yeah, he says carbs are useful, not for you buddy, you're gonna die. I'm sorry, I'm being blunt here, but you are gonna suffer badly if you are a diabetic and you're having too much carbs. It's not for you, but for the average person it might be useful, especially somebody who is physically active. Again, how much carbs you consume is very important. The typical Indian way of 300-400 grams carbs with no protein at all, with unhealthy fats, terrible. That's not what I'm talking about. So I believe somebody could easily go get be okay with 150 grams carbs, even slightly more if the person is super active and a regular gym goer and all that. So coming back to the original point of healthy carbs. So what are healthy carbs? The first point I hope is clear, that it entirely depends on the person's health condition. If your metabolic health is poor, there are no healthy carbs. All carbs will be bad carbs. Just put it in your brain. So this is like the important part. Okay, now assuming that you are healthy, assuming that you're metabolically fit, you're a youngster, you lift, and you want to have some carbs. So what are healthy carbs? Now I would say the healthy carbs are whole carbs, not burgers, not pizzas, not donuts, whole foods. So let me start with the obvious one, grains. I would say white rice. I would say white rice is up there as a very healthy carbs. Anything rice based, dosa, idli, all good. Other grains, millets. It's nutrient rich, but and a good source of carbs. But again, it's tough on your gut. It's like a lot of fiber. It's tough on your gut. So provided you cook it in a certain way and you sprout it or something, then it's okay, then it becomes a decent source of carbs. Wheat, I feel like the problem with wheat is a lot of pesticides and gluten, so this is like a major problem. But otherwise, if you're getting some good quality organic stuff, I'll be okay with that too. So grains, as long as they're processed properly and it's like free from all the pesticides and stuff, I'll be okay with that as a carb source for a healthy person. Keep that point in mind always, for a healthy person. Uh, Now, what are other sources of carbs? Potatoes, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are like super healthy, super nutrient rich. Again, for the healthy person. So potatoes, sweet potatoes, yams, taro. So these are like healthy vegetables, healthy carb-rich vegetables. Fruits, obviously you know them. But I would keep the condition that you don't ingest too much fructose in a day. So we'll always keep it within the limits. But mainly, I would say bananas and pomegranates. Pomegranates are super healthy. Pomegranates, guava, watermelon. So these are like good fruits. Obviously, overconsumption of any carbs, fruits or whatever, not allowed. So provided you're not over consuming, I find these are like good healthy carbs. Like come right from the gym and have some you know have some watermelon. How awesome would that feel, right? So these are healthy carbs. Then coming more towards honey is like an excellent source of carbs. It's like one of the most nutritious, anti-nutrient rich substance natural foods. The problem with honey, you have to find good quality ones. The ones you find in stores, these are all shitty products. I'm telling you, these are like sugar syrups or you know sugar syrups fed to the bees so that the quality of honey is bad. So those ones I wouldn't go for. I think avoid that for that reason. If you know some good sources, then you can go for some. You can go for honey. There's like excellent stuff. Then other sources of healthy carbs. I would say like legumes like chana, moong. These are like healthy. Rajma. These are all healthy carbs in the sense. Again, gastric issues. If you take care of your gut, you sprout them a little bit. You prepare them well. You soak them well. You should be able to get away with it. So, I would say that would be good carbs. So, me personally, if you ask me like what are my go-to carbs, if I had to go for carbs, I would go for white rice, I would go for sweet potatoes, I would go for mashed potatoes, I would go for honey, I would go for fruits. These would be my preferential carbs. I won't go for millets and legumes and wheat and stuff because they're not going to tolerate my or my gut is not going to do well with these. So this is not going to be my first choice for carbs, but the other ones I mentioned will be. So this is the key you have to understand. So in nutrition, you cannot say this is healthy, this is unhealthy. That's like, yeah, when it comes to ultra processed food, like seed oil, I can say with full confidence, seed oil is unhealthy. Okay, I know you're watching, I know. So seed oil is unhealthy. I won't even think like seed oil might be healthy, can be healthy. No, it's not. Seed oil is unhealthy. Sugar, it's just empty calories. So I would say that is unhealthy. Likewise, there are like many things which are can be classified as healthy and unhealthy. Those are like processed food. When it comes to natural food, it depends on the person taking it, how much the person is taking, under what circumstance he is taking, because it's all important. Me taking some fruits, just randomly grabbing some fruit and eating, it's definitely I wouldn't. It would be more on the unhealthy side. But me coming from a strong workout, me deadlifting and me having some fruit, it's like, wow, that's amazing, right? So that's really helping me with my recovery. I'm getting that quick muscle glycogen in. So that's like super healthy. So that's where the context come from. You should understand where the context is. So just because I say this, I know sweets and sweet stuff are like really addictive. So you have the tendency to, get them involved. Your mind is like, oh, he said that. Like, if not me, you'll find somebody else who is approving of all those things. So you'll definitely find a way to include them in your diet. But like, please make a proper assessment of your metabolic health. I would give you some markers for that. I mentioned it in a post earlier today. It's a detailed post, but I'll just give you like 3 or 4 markers. Number one, fasting insulin. Go for a fasting insulin test. Make sure it is now below 6, then you're all clear. Then other one is lipid profile. Go for triglyceride HDL ratio. Get it below 2 and it's all clear. HbA1c below 5.7. I would be a bit more cautious if it is like 5.6, 5.7, 5.5. Let's say 5.2, 5.3, all clear. Just look at yourself in the mirror. Like, how are you looking in the mirror? That's like an important marker. So that is one thing. Waist. Just measure your waist and your height. So waist to height ratio, very good marker. So these are like 4 or 5 things which I will keep in mind so that I can get a proper evaluation of my health, metabolic health in particular. Yeah, so this is what I would use. If these things are intact, then and I'm somebody who works out a lot, so I would preferentially have carbs or more carbs on these days. So that's how I would do it. Bye.